Here we go. We're live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Candid Conversations. I am your host, Kyra, and our co-host is the Deacon.
I got a problem. Let's before you introduce Justin. I want to know why your candy conversation got your candy moment got 5.7 thousand views, and mine only got 22. 20 views.
Wait a minute.
Because I think you hashtag all yours, and then you don't hashtag nobody. See you got like 70 hashtags up here for your candy moment.
What are you looking at?
Look at this. Wait, okay. So candy moment. You got moment. Corita, social media expert Wendy Williams, beach party.
Wait a minute.
You got like 90 you got 90 hashtags up here for your candy moment, and then you go up here even for the review.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Derek.
For the candy review, you got like 90, you got 87 for the candy review, and then we get up here to the Deacon's little 20 views. There's nothing. It just says trending. You got one hashtag.
Wait, what? What are you what are you talking about?
It's a dirty, dirty world we live in. I tell you, it's a dirty.
I really don't know what you're talking about, but you have to. On what platform? What platform are you seeing that on?
I'm on Facebook.
Oh, okay. You have hashtags.
No, I got one hashtag, trending.
No.
That's all it says, trending. And then when you go to your hashtags and then your niece's hashtags, it's like 150 between both.
No, it's not. No, it's not, Derek.
Justin, when you get a chance, go onto the page and look at it and tell me if I'm bugging or not.
No. Okay, Derek. I'm gonna check it out and I'm gonna see what you're talking about, but it's not like that.
150 between both.
It is not.
Mm-mm-mm.
And why are you talking about this at this particular moment in time?
Because this is the time it need to happen.
This is something that you could have discussed with me after the podcast. Derek is trying to I'm so sorry, Justin, that Derek was being rude. This is our other co-host, Justin Rucker.
I'm the other co-host. You see how I just... Anyway, hi guys. Y'all guys are in for a treat. We're going to have a nice discussion about... just stay tuned.
Listen. All right, let me just...
The other co-host.
He got me all off balance with this hashtag, and I did this.
Because you know that this co-host, the difference is that this co-host is petty.
Very.
I don't understand what's going on, but okay. Derek gonna caught me off guard.
I'm trying to blame it on me because you're out here living foul.
No, I don't even understand how I'm living foul. I post the stuff. I hashtag everything. You
got the phone in your hand. Go on, look and see what you hashtag.
I'm sharing the podcast, but I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna see later on after the show is over. We can debate about me and my shadiness.
Oh, it's no debate. This is it's no debate. This is factuals.
If that's what you said. This is what?
Factuals, all facts.
It's not. It is not. Don't
You will
even try
see.
to play. Don't try to play me like that.
You will see. Soon as you get on.
No, it's not true. I don't do anything out of malice. It just could have been an oversight. It happens.
Yeah.
Right.
So it happened when you did it for yours,
Right.
or your nieces. Just happened to happen.
Listen, it don't got nothing to do with nothing. It is what it is. But I'm gonna check it out because I could have swore I hashtag Joyce just as well. But like I said, I will see what's going on in the mix. Okay. Will that make you happy?
No.
No.
Okay.
I want a written apology for the candid. I want a candid apology.
I want an apology.
Okay. And on that note, because that ain't never gonna happen, because I didn't do nothing wrong, we gonna continue this show. Since, you know, I was sidetracked, bamboozled, and all those other good things that come along with it, because Derek is being really funny right now. Hi everybody, how y'all doing today? Welcome to Candid Conversations. Thank you for joining the conversation with us today. Today's topic, I don't know if it's today's topic is what rights will we have left? And we're going to be talking about the two bills that came up last week for a House vote, which was the Respect Marriage Act and the Contraceptive Act. And we're going to be talking about the overturning of Roe versus Wade. And I'm going to kind of, sort of, in a way, need for my co-host to check me in case I say something that might get us in trouble.
It gonna get me in trouble because I already got a disclaimer on the bottom of my screen.
This is not the views of everybody. These are just mine. I can get very passionate.
Just watch my screen. Just watch my screen. If you say something off wall, just watch my screen. If you see this.
You know, I can't teleport. He teleported.
That means you're on your own.
If you see me do this,
but that is so wrong. That's wrong on every level. Like y'all supposed to have my back.
Nah, women can't get canceled. Men get canceled quicker than women.
Hell yeah.
Really?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The problem is men get canceled so quickly. Women, they could get the potential to be canceled, but people don't believe when women do bullshit. Don't believe us.
Women back up other women's BS. That's what happens.
That's true. That's true.
But a man, especially on these topics, like the nerve of him, he is canceled. So.
And how dare he not be in support of Roe versus Wade and my body and yep. So.
Well, I think that everybody should be in support of Roe versus Wade. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. It may not be the right opinion, but it is mine. So that's all I got to say about that. No, let's talk about Roe versus Wade. We're going to dip into everything, kind of falls into line with the overturning of Roe versus Wade and why these other bills have come into play due to that. Because my personal opinion is, I don't know how to really say it right. So, Okay, I'm not gonna say my personal opinion. Because
Personal opinion.
I can't say it the politically correct ways. It's gonna come out wrong no matter which way I say it.
All right, I'll tell y'all mine.
Okay.
All right, so it's the short and sweet version of it, right? Um, uh, men and women throughout history have always gone about, whether or not women should do certain things with their body. My personal opinion is, it's her body, is her right. If she want to do what she want to do, if she want to have an abortion or if she don't want to have an abortion, it's her decision at the end of the day. Regardless if I agree, if I'm a pro-lifer or not, at the end of the day, I'm not the one that's going to have these procedures done. So if a woman decides that she get pregnant, unwanted pregnancy, she decides she want to terminate the pregnancy, it's on her. So that's basically my short and sweet version of how I feel about it. Ain't none of my business really.
You don't think it's like a bigger issue or a bigger reasoning on why they decided to overturn?
There's a lot of different reasons why you might have had like a one nighter, the condom broke, you wind up pregnant, you may have been raped, and turned up pregnant. There's a lot of whys in that go into the decision process of what women want to do with their bodies. But ultimately, I don't believe that people that don't have a uterus should have a say in what they do with their bodies. Women are going to do what they want. People, not even women, people are going to do what they want, when they want, how they want. And if you restrict them from doing what they want, they're just going to go and find alternate ways to get what they want.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, regardless if my religion tells me that abortion is wrong or what have you, at the end of the day, it is not my place to tell somebody what to do with their own body. Their bodies are autonomous. They can do whatever the fuck they want to do with their body. And I mean, at the end of the day, we can respect that, or we can't, or we don't have to respect that. But it's their decision. Is the woman's decision. It's her body. Period. That's just my 2 cents.
My name is Derek Watson. I approve this message.
Hi, Robert. How are you? I appreciate your opinion on that, and I approve your message. Deacon, what do you feel about Roe versus Wade, the overturning of Roe versus Wade?
Well, first of all, I don't know Roe nor Wade. I think I went to school with Roe nephew.
Nah, you a little too young for that.
His grandnephew. I think I went to school with him. His name was Lamont Roe. But I don't know. I don't think I don't even think Wade. I don't even think Roe and Wade were friends, really. So I think this is a timeless issue that's gone back for years. Them being beefing with each other, because the kids don't even like each other. Because Lamont Roe and Justine Wade, they, or was that Dwight Wade? Yeah, that was like the third cousin to, yeah, because Susanna Wade was the aunt. She used to sell ices. Huh? Oh, I'm getting off subject. Okay, I'm back.
Yes.
So I agree. I agree with what Justin said. Like, it's not what a woman does with her body, what anybody does with their body is ultimately their decision. And me being the deacon, I'm gonna have to come from a spiritual point of view. The Bible tells us that every man will have to stand in judgment for their own works. So whatever I cannot be held responsible, or I cannot be held in judgment for a decision that Justin made or that Kyra made. I
Right.
have to
Right.
worry about being held for my own works and the stuff that I've done. And I think that's the way we need to look at things now. Like, we have all these people making decisions about what other people can do with their body when it has nothing to do with you.
Right.
We have newspapers full of obituaries of people who have left here, and yet I am yet, until my name or somebody I'm connected to name hits there, I am not affected. So
Amen.
I have a serious problem when we have a bunch of people who have no connections to these people. If this person wakes up or not, you're not affected, but you're making a decision that affects them. And I feel like nobody should have that kind of power over anybody.
Amen.
Absolutely not.
Like
Absolutely not. And I totally agree with that.
we also have to identify something. Roe versus Wade is purely political. It is not like this essential piece
Absolutely.
that we just like absolutely had to like address. Roe versus Wade came out, if I'm not mistaken, it came out 50 some odd years ago, I think 1973. And there's multiple presidents, Clinton, Obama twice, Clinton twice, Carter, that actually had the ability to have this decision codified into law. So it's really just political. It's a talking point. But even if they did like overturn it, it's still up to the states. So it depends on where you live. Like, I know New Jersey has provisions in place to help people that are not from New Jersey, just in case they want to make the decision to have a safe and legal abortion. But it's purely political. They use it like as a talking point to really rally the
Yes,
troops.
but we
like,
also just have to remember one thing too.
They could have been made it a law. They chose not to.
Right.
Yeah, but even though it may be traveling to go somewhere else where it is legal to have it done, they still have consequences to face once they go home.
What are they doing? Scanning women for embryos before they leave the state?
Pregnancy test.
So you got to piss
like
on
literally. Like literally, I was. I don't know if everybody heard about the little 10-year-old girl who was raped, got pregnant. Her mom took her somewhere where it was legal to get an abortion, and it was at the right, amount of weeks or whatever for her to still get the abortion. And then they went back home, and now all these people, her, the mother, the surgeon, which they can't really do anything to the surgeon because she got it done in a safe, the place that was legal. But now they're trying to like go after the mother for allowing her 10-year-old daughter to have an abortion after.
Right. But that's
that pisses me off on every step.
You know what I'm gonna ask?
Go ahead.
How the fuck she got pregnant at 10 years old?
She was raped.
She was raped. So why are we even debating and here's what kills me. The people that are pro-life, right? They don't. The majority of our pro-lifers are the ones that complain about people that are on social services and need kind of assistance from the state, right? So they don't want this child to terminate a pregnancy because she is in fact a child herself. It's not like a teen pregnancy. She is literally a baby. She's 10 years old, right? So what is she supposed to do to support this child? Or does it fall on the mom? Maybe the mom can't afford to take care of this child. So at some point, there's got to be some give and take. Like, I feel like...
First of all, no 10-year-old child, nobody that's 10-year-old should be having a baby, period. I'm sorry.
No way.
That's just
no way.
About.
No fucking way.
But this was a 10-year-old that was raped. And unfortunately, she ended up getting pregnant. And should that mother be held or go to jail because her 10-year-old daughter got raped and she got pregnant and she did what was the right and best thing to do for her child?
Right, right. Like I just don't
Because
understand.
they would rather see a child that's 10 years old, have mental issues, just on the simple fact that she was raped and now you want her to have a pregnancy, go through a whole pregnancy and have a whole baby and be a whole mother by 11 years old.
Then you want to put her mama in jail for trying to do the right thing, trying to preserve that child's childhood.
Beyond the childhood, she's practically protecting her life, because a 10-year-old body is not matured,
pushing out a baby.
even matured full enough. Her cervix is not even matured enough to even push to carry a baby long enough.
Exactly.
Go through
Exactly.
with the stress of childbirth alone. So it's just like you're just looking for a reason to make a story, or to, like, we have to pay attention to the signs.
It's like they trying to scare people into leaving to go to a safe place to get what they want to get done. That's basically it's a scare tactic.
Right.
It definitely is. And it's also, I mean, the one of the biggest problems that I have with them overturning it is you're gonna start seeing those back alley abortions to people that can't leave the state again.
Absolutely.
You're gonna start seeing women really hurting themselves and even getting infections and dying because they want to have this thing done and they just don't have the means to do it in a safe place.
Right.
And those numbers are gonna skyrocket. When they came before Roe versus Wade came up, women were doing all kinds of shit, trying to have abortion for unwanted pregnancies. They were burning themselves chemically. I was reading a article where women would go to a corner, almost like a storefront abortion clinic, and the tools weren't clean, they weren't sterile, and women were becoming sterile, impotent, and some even getting really bad infections and dying because of that. So it's really important that if we when we make decisions, when Supreme Court makes decisions like that they put provisions in there that can make sure that people don't harm themselves. And I think they dropped the ball on that one.
Absolutely.
They absolutely did. Danielle says, send me to jail, then throw away the key, because ain't no way in hell I'm going to allow my baby to go through that at 10 years old. She's not even a teenager. She doesn't even understand what happened, let alone be a mother. I don't give a damn what the government says. And I am right along with you, Danielle, because I'm going to jail anyway, just on the simple fact of how she got pregnant. But I'm with you 100%. Wouldn't be my kid. We clink clink.
Right.
Y'all make I put some money on my books. That's all I got to say about that.
Right.
Put some money on my books. Because ain't no way, no how.
It just don't make sense, man. The next thing that's gonna happen, because they were trying to do this for decades. The next thing that's gonna happen is they're gonna go after interracial marriages. Watch.
That's on the docket.
Well, they're already doing that. That's what we're talking about. That's part of the what you call it, is that we gonna get there. We gonna smooth on into that one. But as we all know, I don't know if everybody knows, and this is why I say people need to vote. But I'm not about to beat nobody in the head about they voting and all of that stuff. But when it comes to stuff like this is the reason why you vote, because we are the ones that put these people in place.
Right.
And if you don't vote, you act like it's okay, oh, I'm not gonna vote, I don't care. It is what it is. But now we're at a point where our rights are now going to start being taken away from us. And you shouldn't have to make a law because somebody overturned a law that was set in place for over 40 years, and now you want us to go backwards. It's like we going back into the slavery days where it's going to be nothing but separation, because that's what it's going to end up turning into if all of these laws are starting to get overturned. Don't get me started.
No, right.
Beth, hi Miss Beth, how you doing? She says, give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Beth says the government needs to stay out of people's lives. It is up to the individual, my body or their body, our decision that we have to live with. Exactly. It's our decision. We have to live with that decision. Nobody else has to live with it. Nobody but us.
Right. A lot of these
yeah.
people that be having these that be making these decisions be doing some scandalous shit themselves too. Like they probably done had a bunch of abortions, got women pregnant on the side, you know, side sling, getting pregnant. They
Don't
like,
get me
go to
wrong. I'm not gonna say that I am all for abortion. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. It's to me, it just it's somebody's choice. My personal choice. I don't believe in abortion. I wouldn't get one for myself, but I would never feel like it's my right and or nor my business what someone else is choosing to do with their body. But what I choose to do with my body is my business. Now, granted, I may say I don't believe in abortion, but if I was to have gotten raped and got pregnant, I would not be having that child because I ain't that person. I ain't carrying no rapist baby. Now you got to be a strong individual to carry a rapist baby and birth it and raise it. That's just my opinion.
Right.
But situations and things do happen.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, yeah, let me get some. Oh, go ahead.
Natalie said these are people of non-color trying to repopulate their race by any means. Another billing tactic to control without saying they want total control. We passed the cult phase, so this is a backdoor tactic once again by Shea White Corporate America. It's a form of slavery.
That's my
not for nothing. I gotta agree with her because why else? It just makes sense. Why else is it such a big deal about what people do with their own bodies? You know, you got to think about it. I mean, COVID took out a bunch of affluent, you know, Confederate white Americans that didn't want to get the vaccine, so now they got to make sure that they boost those numbers up. All right, you pregnant? You gonna have this baby if you're in a red state?
Absolutely. Danielle says, I understand that the system is trying to prevent unwanted pregnancies. However, they are really not thinking about all the case scenarios that could possibly be. For instance, I understand because certain celebrities want to start. Certain celebrities wanted to start a whore walk, which creates a lot unwanted pregnancies and a lot of abortions. They're trying to make women more responsible. Keyword women, not children. Exactly.
Not bad.
Women. And I ain't trying to be funny, but at the end of the day, I do understand this is all about population and who's a minority and who's the majority. And in the world that we come from, and in the world that we have lived in, we already know what that's about. And the most people, which is a fact, you could look it up. Look on Planned Parenthood, you'll see the statistics. White people are the ones that get the most abortions. They want to say it's us. They want to say it's black people, but it's not. It's white. White people are the ones that are getting most of the abortions. And I feel as though they want to stop white people from getting abortions. They want to have these babies, especially in those states where it's a lot of incest going on and things of that nature going on, which I don't think that's right at all. But hey, to each his own. Y'all live the way y'all want to live, but I know that that's how I feel. I feel that's what they are trying to basically stop because they want to make sure that they are always the supreme race.
Always in control. Always.
Every chance they get.
Huh?
I said, stay in control every chance they get.
But I think you definitely made a really, really serious point about people making sure that they exercise, they vote, even if they don't want to, even if they don't believe. Because if you look at what's happening now, they banking on us not coming out to vote. They banking on us not to voice our opinions. With when it comes to like anything that comes down the pipeline that could benefit us, they keep that real hush hush. But it's important. Like people really got to look at who's representing them, and you want to put people that look like you, that have the same interest as you, or someone that's going to support your interests in the best way. So so your needs are met, like on a real serious level, like because look at how things are going right now. I mean, unfortunately, it don't look good. And we stuck with these justices for a minute. And I don't care what nobody say, but Ruth Bader Ginsburg was very selfish. How dare she die before she retired? She should have retired when Obama was the president and she was getting sick, so he could have put another Democrat in that damn seat.
Right.
She wanted to hold on, knew she wasn't going to last long, and died in that seat under Trump. And what did Trump do? He got how many justices he got? He got 3, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
2. I thought he got 2.
He got the girl, Comey Barrett, and Kavanaugh, right? And
Yeah.
he replaced Then he replaced one of the justices that died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Other one, the other white boy.
Yep.
So he got the super majority on the Supreme Court. He basically scored the touchdown for the Republican Party because, like, unless somebody Republican drop dead on the Supreme Court tomorrow, like it's gonna be stuck. It's gonna be hard for anything that's moderate to come through, on a federal level through that court, because they're gonna block it.
Right.
Absolutely. Without a doubt. But not only this is like I was saying last week, they also did a vote through the House because they were trying to ban contraceptives. Like, how do you overturn and make abortions illegal, but then you're trying to ban people from having contraceptives as well? It makes no freaking sense. Like, people have to somehow be able to protect themselves against pregnancy.
I think when we talk about, they didn't make abortions, the Supreme Court didn't make abortions illegal with overturning Roe versus Wade. What they basically said was, listen, abortions are a decision that should not be, that are not protected by the Constitution. Now, if you look at the Constitution, you do not have a right to have an abortion, but it's a human rights issue. It should have been codified into law 50 years ago. It should have been made into law. They bullshitted and just allowed it to remain a decision. Now, with them overturning it, they pushed it to the states, and the states already had their personal mandates based on whatever state you lived in. So if you're in the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, you're still going to get access to abortion. But if you're in Mississippi, North, South Carolina, all those Texas, all those red states, you basically screwed. Now, with that being said, when you talk about the Contraceptive Act, what they're doing now is they're trying to
redo the whole law to ensure that states that don't support abortion, that provision is not made in that act. And that's where it's becoming a hot button issue, because most, like back in the day, you could pay for a plan B. Your employer would help you with a plan B back in the day. Like when I was working at Rite Aid, like we had access to it because we had a pharmacy, and they gave us a little card that discounted the contraceptives. So now it's like, because they overturned it, they're really trying to like change the whole scope of the law, and it's really becoming inconvenient for people because, again, this is the woman's body. Like, if a woman decides she don't want to have a child, who am I, or who is anyone else to judge or say, no, you're gonna have that child regardless? No, it's not our business. So that's where it really becomes a problem for a lot of people that live in states that really don't support, you know, abortion or unwanted pregnancies.
Right. And also, you have to, because remember, this is big business. Everything has a dollar sign. Everything is connected to a dollar sign. So
Right.
when you telling somebody about contraceptives, number one, remember that pharmaceuticals use medicine to double dose for different things. So one medication that may be utilized for let's say a nosebleed could also be a medication that's used that could kill a baby.
Right.
So
Right.
they're making sure that the stuff that they have, they can get double the price for it, and say in another state that maybe this is against, they may not be able to use that medicine in that state, so they got to still be able to make their money. So now when it goes into a state that is a friendly state, now they can double and triple the price of that medicine now and make that money back that they're going to lose from the fact that they can't utilize that, they can't sell that medicine in a state that is against it. So
go ahead, Derek.
So we have to know the fact that everything comes with a dollar. Everything is for the dollar, and and decisions are not being made. We look at stuff and we think that decisions are being made out of hatred or the fact that they hate us or something, and it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that they're trying to make as much money for them and grease as much palms as they can grease, but without making other powerful people too mad or shaking the boat too much for other powerful people.
I tell people all the time, when it comes to politics and decision making, follow the money, right? And Derek really hit it on the head. If you really want to know where your local leaders are on certain things, check their campaign finance reports. The pharmaceutical companies that Derek is talking about, I guarantee you 90% of them or all of them are definitely making donations to their congressional reps, their House reps, to ensure that decisions like this work in their favor. Because healthcare in the United States, anyway, I can't speak for any other country, but I know in the United States, healthcare is big business. And then they're in the business of making profits. They're not in the, look at how expensive, for example, we talk about abortions, but diabetes, right? Look how expensive insulin is. A drug that's easily synthesized that could really help improve the quality of lives for millions of people in this country, but people got to spend freaking so much money just to get that medicine. Even people dying because they rationing off the medicine when they're supposed to be taking a certain amount. So it just goes to show that, we put profits over people in this country. And with the abortion talk and with Planned Parenthood and all that stuff, this is no different.
Absolutely.
Danielle says, like certain medications, once I learned that I was pregnant, I learned that I could not take certain insulins because I'm a diabetic. Also, certain high blood pressure pills you're not supposed to take while pregnant because it can harm the baby, which is, I believe, why they actually, which is why this contraceptive bill is in place just as well, because It passed the House, but it still got to go through the Senate. So, but I know they were saying that they wanted certain things in that bill, the language in the bill to be redone, because they're saying that women will start getting contraceptives if they are pregnant to induce an abortion. So, and to see what happens when it goes to the Senate, or if they are going to change the language on what type of contraceptives they are going, or that they're going to be willing to allow people to take. Because this is ridiculous that you even have to say what are these people who've never met me going to say what I can take to prevent myself from getting pregnant.
Right.
This is absolutely amazing. This is the world that we live in. This is the United States.
Because other countries, and it might sound crazy, but other countries ain't off that. Like, when you look at countries, even like places that we make look like our third world country, right? For years, they made us think that Africa was this wasteland that was full of AIDS, and it's not. For years, they made us think that Cuba was like this piece of shit country, and it's not. Even places like that, their healthcare is better than ours. People are living longer there, as opposed to this country is supposed to be the greatest country in the world. But look, we can't even get over mistreating people that don't look like that might not look like us, or might not have the same skin color as us. So it just shows you how ass backers we are, how much we really have to like catch up with the rest of the world. Like, we really are talking about a thing here. The right to do what I wish with my body. Like, really? If I want to go get a tattoo tomorrow, goddamn it, I'm gonna go get a tattoo.
Absolutely. Danielle said it's not called healthcare practice for no reason. The keyword practice, I'm supposed to get you well. I'm supposed to keep you coming back. I'm not supposed to get well. I'm supposed to keep you coming back. Absolutely. Right. And you know, like me and Natalie, we work in the world of healthcare. So we see a lot, we hear a lot. Hell, maybe some of us even do a lot, but healthcare is definitely all about the business and not about the welfare of people and patients. They could care less. They're diagnosed with something that you don't even got.
Right. Just to make sure that you keep coming back, so they could keep billing that good old insurance. Because they don't want to see you ain't got no insurance. Absolutely. That's out. That's fucking out. Yeah. You don't got no insurance? Bye. Oh, what you got? Blue Cross? Come on down. I got you.
And then, and one of the other bills that I'm going to dip into is the Respect for Marriage Act, which was something that they also voted on last week, that has to also go to the Senate. But they don't think that it's going to pass the Senate unless they can. And once again, this is where your voting comes in. It comes into place. They have to basically get 10 Republicans from the Senate to vote for the Respect for Marriage Act in order for it to pass.
So that passed it already?
It passed. It's going to the Senate to be voted on. So it's not passed. It's going to the Senate to be voted on.
Wow. And then it goes to the president's desk. He ain't gonna sign that.
So, but if anyone isn't familiar with what the Respect for Marriage Act is basically supposed to safeguard same-sex marriages and interracial marriages, which is crazy.
That's why it got house approval so quick. Okay.
Huh?
That's why it got House approval so quick, because the House is Democratic, the Senate is Republican.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
make it to the president's desk, unfortunately.
Well, they hoping so. They're
I hope
hoping
so.
that it.
I hope.
I hope that it passes too, because when they overturned Roe versus Wade, this is the reason why they are now trying to be proactive. I'm assuming to get these bills into place so they can be signed, so people can be protected because of things that y'all good old Clarence Thomas had to say about overturning other laws that were already put in place, and they've been in place for many years. But once you start overturning things, go ahead.
I wanna say, didn't they protect same-sex marriages on a federal level though under Obama?
Yes. So the same-sex marriages protection was put in. It was an amendment to interracial. It was an amendment to the interracial. It was a appendage. So it was just appended on to
Like an addendum.
a bill that was already a law that was already out. So now what they're trying to do is to give it its own law and give it its own protections, so it's not connected to.
Hey,
It's like a union. Like if I make you separate, then when I go to attack a certain portion of a union, then you're not affected anymore because I made you separate from it. Now, if I let you stay where you are and I attack, now I'm hurting you, which maybe I don't want to hurt you, but I have to because I want to do damage to somebody else.
Right.
So it's all about the whole trying to separate so then they can make the attacks they want to make.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I remember them when I was in the Army. Perfect example. When I was in the Army, it was in the midst of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. And there were a lot of homosexuals in the military when I was coming out. And I remember a lot of conservative, like drill sergeants and NCOs on base, that were pissed, and they were saying, "Oh, Obama did this. He's protecting same sex, but he doesn't want to give us a raise." Blah blah blah. So I just couldn't remember, but I did know that he did come through for them on the federal level. But I think that a lot of their rights need to be expanded upon when it comes to marriage and stuff like that, because if the Supreme Court have their way, they'll just do sweeping reform to everything, and not only same sex but interracial marriage.
Well, that's what they're trying to protect the interracial marriages with this Respect the Marriage Act. They're trying to, but you have to actually read the bill in order to see what it actually details. Because even if it is overturned, what's going to end up happening is the same way they did with the abortions, where it's going to go by state, that you can still be there. What they're trying to basically is going to be safeguarded for those that are already married, interracial marriages, and same marriages, where they won't be, it's not like your marriage is now null and void because you no longer fall underneath this law anymore. They're protected no matter what. If you're married already, then you're married, and they have to recognize your marriage. But if you do get married, if it's ever overturned and you do get married, they don't have to give you a marriage license. If it's not for that state, if they don't allow it in that state, they don't have to issue you a marriage license. They will recognize that you are in a same-sex relationship, but they do not have to issue you a marriage license.
You know how to rectify that? Destination wedding. Just go to another state that does, and go get married in that state, and they can't ignore your union then, because once they Once that
They
clerk
don't have
signs
to
up,
recognize it. If they go back home, they don't have to recognize it. If they were to go back home to where they live, they don't have to recognize it as a marriage.
get the fuck out of here. That's crazy.
That's exactly. That's why I say you have to kind of read the whole entire bill in its entirety. They don't have to recognize it. They could get married anywhere they want to get married to, but they don't have to recognize their marriage if they don't. If
It's
it's
gonna be a
illegal.
lot of people in the news
It's
talking
gonna
about
be what it was before. Where
yeah.
some states it was legal to get married, in others it wasn't. But the the jacked up part about it is that it starts going into interracial marriages. So therefore, it's like you can't marry who you want to marry anymore because it's not going to be recognized.
I don't think that's right. I think that's really messed up.
You can love who you want to love, but sorry, you just can't marry
all the
them.
time, man. So many like couples that come in, like different colors, different creeds, like it goes against what the concept of America is supposed to be. America's already fucked up, but we don't like talking about the real America, like, slavery. We don't like talking about stuff like that, but it happened. But the beauty of being in this country is you can say what you want and you can pretty much do what you want outside of breaking any real laws. Like you can't go out around just like shooting people, blowing people away. But you could basically criticize the president if you wanted to. You could criticize how things are. You can question things. That's the beauty of this country. And then for America to be like a melting pot of different cultures and ideas, I think they're in what they're trying to do right now is what saddens me the most, because you're beginning to see that they're really trying to whitewash this country slowly but surely. They're really trying to press that agenda of a white man's America, and you can see it now. And people might not agree with that, but like actions speak louder than words, and already you can just see like they really trying to go back like 50 years, man. They really are.
Yeah. We're going backwards. We're not going forward. It's like they're
Right.
trying to take us back to where things just, are separate. It's just like
Right.
they're just trying to separate everything. And it's really not right. So it's just like, I'll just say this, y'all do what y'all got to do before they start overturning these laws and these bills, baby, because the Lord only knows what's going to happen. But like I said, this act may not even get passed because
That's what
they
need 10
very
Republicans.
Senate isn't going to pass it.
That's hard to do. Plus, think about it. This president, like, I don't know if y'all really fuck with the president or whatever. He ain't really favorable, like people say he is. Like people aren't as confident with the president. At least if you had a president that had a little bit of moxie, charisma, he could get his people to lobby with the senators and probably turn 10 Republicans. This president can't do that.
Right.
They so up his ass. They like legit. They were pissed off when they said that he kind of recovered from the COVID. Like, it's that deep over there in Washington.
Y'all ain't about to take me out.
Word.
He said, y'all ain't taking me out without a damn fight. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it to win it, baby.
Though, anyway.
It's just a sad day in this world. It really is. It's a sad day. It's a sad time that all of these things are happening, and everything lies in other people's hands. All our rights that we have are little by little being stripped away from us.
Fact.
And for what?
Natalie said something that was like really profound too, and I was about to touch on that. She said exactly, same-sex marriage still can't get health insurance for their spouse because it's not really recognized in some states. I think part of the provision when Obama had worked that provision is that the real reasoning was behind that whole movement was that so same-sex marriages, like if you become widowed in a same-sex marriage, you'll be entitled to those insurance benefits.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
I know prior to him, I think this was his second term. A lot of people were really complaining. Like, remember that movie Chuck and Steve with Adam Sandler, where they were firemen, they were gay. That was the big
Mhm.
thing right there, and it was really happening where people like that had really good retirement benefits were dying, but they were gay, and they wanted to make sure they left something behind to their significant others, and that's really where the push came. Like, okay, we're gonna make sure that, like, if you boom, like, we're gonna give you the same provisions as a heterosexual couple. That's where the push really came from. So I know nowadays you definitely can get, like, if I'm in a relationship with a man and we're married and I die, I would leave my benefits to my husband. It used to be none of that. If I died and they didn't recognize the marriage, that was it.
Or for your kids, or if you had kids, or whoever your next of kin was.
Right. And it was causing a lot of confusion in the gay community. A lot. Well, the LGBTQRS TUV community. It was causing a lot of confusion with them. But I just wish that we got the same attention as them, because we still fighting for some fundamental shit, and we can't even get a seat at the table.
Absolutely.
If I'm being honest.
You are. You're being absolutely correct. Danielle says, this country is not a Barney by what we put on a dollar bill. In God we trust. This government system is going by. In man we trust. I'm a trust in God, but just government trust themselves and money. I totally agree, Dan. I had to put that. I put that up there. I think I did. I totally agree. I totally agree. This land is not. The Constitution needs to be rewritten, actually burned and rewritten.
That piece of paper, if you now,
it's biased.
Really be screwed. Like, make amendments to it, but if you shred that shit now, you can forget it. You might as well go somewhere else. You might as well go somewhere else. Because
needs to be rewritten.
A lot of the things that have provisions in it, in the Constitution, that actually work for us, they would definitely come in and get rid of all that. So make the amendments.
Listen,
don't kill it and try.
I'm looking at it in the reality type of thing, and that's just going to be the reality of it. At the end of the day, they are trying to make us go backwards.
Right.
They want us to be separate. They want us to be separate. I get very upset and very, whatever. Not upset, but more passionate about anything, because to me, I feel as though it's just all about racism and separation. Definitely. And to me, that's what it boils all down to. Fuck all the sugarcoating it into, because we're doing this for this reason, or we're doing this for that reason. No, we're slowly but surely, we're going right back into freaking slavery.
Right.
We don't have the power. We don't have the control over our own lives, over our own bodies.
I guarantee you, if Roe versus Wade made provisions to where men had to get a vasectomy, that shit would not have passed. It would have been a law against that.
They should make men get vasectomies. They should pass a law and say all men have to get vasectomies.
I told my fiance that. I said, babe, if the Supreme Court made a provision in Roe versus Wade that all men that have 3 kids, at least, after the 3rd kid, they have to have a vasectomy, that shit would have fell flat on his face.
Oh, because I sure enough been at the doctor like,
I'm telling you.
Derek, you got enough kids.
It's the law. Following the law.
It's over. Law says I cannot do it. The law says I have to go snip. So
Derek has enough children, and so do you, Justin. But can you imagine people that don't have kids and they just tell them
right.
that they can get snipped?
No, you gotta have at least 3
No.
before you get the snippety.
Right.
That shit would have fell right on his face. It wouldn't even been no discussion. They would have said no, and that'd have been it. Clarence Thomas would have voted against that too. His Uncle Tom ass.
Natalie says, but us as a people of color don't help ourselves. Malcolm X stated for us by them. Now your rights, know your rights, know your value.
Right. And that's really the problem. We don't know our worth. We don't stand up for each other like we did back in those days. Like Malcolm X, they labeled him like a rebel back in those days, but he was spitting facts. The whole by all means necessary and looking out for your fellow man, like your fellow black man and your fellow, like that was real talk. But we got so far away from that today that we really starting to see the ramifications of our actions. Like if you look at all these other countries that come here, they be down for each other. I went to an open house yesterday where, and this is talking about how people look out for each other. I went to an open house yesterday, and deadass, it was a young man and an older woman. Come to find out, it was an aunt and a nephew that were coming together to buy the property. They were going to split the property and then rent the top unit. We don't do that in our community because we so mentally we just want like it's mine. They willing to share to build their wealth, and it really goes
supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be.
Right, but we don't do that in our community.
Of course not, because in our community, our people like to showboat. They don't. Everything has to be. Attention has to be them. It's not about everybody coming together and
really hurts us in the long run. We really broke.
Absolutely, the truth. But it is what it is. You can't force people to do anything, and this is just my opinion. Hate me for it, whatever. But our people like to complain a lot.
Right.
They love to complain, but they complain, but never have a solution, never get involved, never do anything but complain. That's our people.
Yep.
And not all of our people, but a lot of our people, which is why we are in the state that we are in now, and which is why we are struggling the way we struggle now, is because our people don't never want to come together and unify and do the work to get things done, but yet they want to complain.
Exactly. And that's the big problem I see in our community. It's basically we want the best, but we don't want to work for the best. We don't want to unify to get the best for everyone, not just one person. We don't want to. It's cliche, but it's so true. We do have a crabs and barrel mentality.
Mm-hmm.
When one person gets close to the edge, close to freedom, we want to pull them back down with us because we can't get a foothold. And that's really where our problem is as an entire community. And yeah, there are some things that are systemic that ain't right that hold us back, but sometimes in many instances we tend to be our own worst enemy.
Yep.
We will when it comes to policy and procedure, we vote against our better interests all the time. But we'll jump We look at like when we support black business, right? Derek got a store. He's telling us, support the black man, support the black man. We go support the black man. What we do? The first thing we do is we go in there, complain about his prices. Oh, your price is too high. Oh, you do this. Oh, you do that. And then you go to the white man, you pay double.
With no problem.
So, with no problem. You don't say nothing.
Let's not leave that part out.
Right. And that's our biggest problem as a people. That's our biggest problem. We got to really learn how to unify, and it's easier said than done, but small steps really make big impacts when we talking about unity and trying to work for the collective people. But until we lose that attitude that we got right now, we're gonna stay in the same position that we at. We got to start relying on the great white hope to come and save us. For real.
Absolutely.
Like, do it yourself, man. Like, get up, pull yourself up off your ass.
We can all do it. All right, our hour is up. But I'm going to our hour's up, and so we have to leave. But I just have maybe a couple of things to say, maybe not. Next week, make sure everybody tunes in because I am redoing our Q&A, our relationship Q&A, because I feel as though last week was just like horrible with my power getting cut off or whatever, the power surgery thingy, whatever happened. So we're going to do part 2 next week. But to end this segment and to end this episode, I just want to say that everybody has to understand and realize that your vote does matter. Your vote does count. Your voice matters. And things like this should not be happening. And this is our fault because we are the ones that put these people in place. We are the ones that didn't go out there and vote. This is our fault. And the only way to correct it is to start using your power and your voice to do what you are supposed to do, what our ancestors died for us to be able to vote. And let's not take that for granted ever. And that's all I have to say. I could say more, but I'll just continue on talking. So, Derek.
I would like to say that Kat is speaking the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. The onus falls on us. We can't blame. We cannot blame other people for our decisions not to be a part. For a fact, Patterson's last elections, Patterson's numbers were dismal. At best, it was like 20 people came out and voted for people who were going to make decisions in our everyday livelihood, and that doesn't only look crazy on a local level, but think about on a national level. If all these little cities have these low turnout rates because they feel that their vote doesn't count, that's why we have the situation that we're having, because we have the people who understand the power of voting, who are voting and putting people in with their agendas and getting their agendas passed, while we're just waiting for the scraps to come and think that somebody, as Justin called the Great White Hope or the Great Brown Hope or the man from Galilee, anybody, you're looking for anybody that you could grab on hold to and believe that they're gonna make the best decisions. My pastor every Sunday prays for elected officials and pray for and asks God to bless the elected officials, to give them a mindset to think about the people and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, sometimes we have to do more than prayer. Sometimes we have to actually put action to prayer, because the word tells us that prayer without works is dead. So therefore, instead of me praying for the elected official, let me vote and put the right elected officials in the right seats that's going to make the decisions that I know they're going to make, because I have vetted them and I know that we have the same agendas. We have to get up, we have to stand up, and we got to move forward and stop looking for someone else to make the moves that we need to be making ourselves. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to next week's show as well, because Kat said, you know, we make sure that Kat's PSE&G is paid, so her lights won't be cut off in the middle of the episode. Good night.
Oh, God. Oh, okay, so my power outage was because my PSEG wasn't, but the whole, it was like that in the whole block. Don't listen to Derek.
Mhm.
I mean, don't listen to Derek. Derek gonna make
Right.
me have to fight him. Go on, Justice. Speak your speak, baby.
Listen, I think that we had a really, really productive conversation tonight, and I think we all really brought to the table our personal views, but it was rooted in fact, and I think that's very important. When we talk about the plight of, you know, what we want as a people and what we expect as far as anything, as far as Roe versus Wade, as far as equality, we have to understand that if we want what we want, we have to hold those that make decisions accountable. And if they ain't doing what they're supposed to do, then you have it right. That many people died for. Get your ass up and go and vote. Vote them out. I too am waiting very, very patiently for next week's episode. What I would like to do is post Kat's Cash App so she can make sure that her
Cat don't have the cash.
and I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, in TV land on next Tuesday, and I'm excited for our next episode.
Absolutely, absolutely, and absolutely. And I just want to say one more thing before I peace, love, and bless y'all out of here. I ain't trying to go back into slavery. I ain't my ancestors. Yo, I'm not built. I'm not built for that. I'm a Kuta Kente. Listen, I ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna be
Cat now,
dead.
we know she ain't gonna make it.
Okay.
So, in order for us not to get there, especially for myself, because I ain't gonna make it in slavery. Yeah, y'all gotta get your asses out there and start taking the stand and doing what y'all gotta do. Because, like I said, I ain't my ancestors. I can't do it. I don't know what y'all could do, but I can't. I can't do it.
Amen.
So on that note, peace, love, and blessings, everybody. See y'all next Tuesday, same time, same place, same social media platforms. Peace.
See y'all later.
Holla at your girl. All right, let's see here. Uh-oh. Yes.